Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and welcome to Season 2 of Earning My Spurs. Now we've got three things to do today. We've got to wrap up last season and show you who won the awards for our club. We've got to go through the transfers, who's come in and who's come out. And I've got to give you a quick preview of what's to come for next season in the Premier League. But first of all, if you like this content, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click the notification bell to be notified when something goes up on the channel. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment if you have anything to say. And I am also part of the FM Creators community and the Passion for FM team. The link to the Discord servers is in the description. Let's get to the post-season analysis. So following the FA Cup final win over Liverpool, we reach the end of season awards. And Harry Kane was voted the fans' player of the year. 52% of the vote. More than half of the fans voted for Harry Kane to be the player of the season. Heung-min Son scored the goal of the season, that mazy run against Newcastle. Bruno Fernandes was the signing of the season at £39.5 million, and Tanguy Ndombele was the young player of the year. Looking at the statistics, and so Harry Kane scored 41 goals in the year. He was also our highest average rated player at 7.32. Lucas Moura, 15 assists, broke a record and set a new one for that many assists. Harry Winks had the best pass completion rate at 90%. Harry Kane also won the most player of the matches. Nelson Semedo had the most yellow cards with 15. Danny Rose had the most red cards with 1. Now we're going to move on to the transfers, and we start with the outs. But as you can see, the infamous transfer blocker is in place. We have spent a total of £149 million. We have recouped £110 million. It's been, as the title suggests, it has been a shuffling of the pack this summer, and a lot of players have gone. As you can see, top of that list, Moussa Sissoko has gone to Burnley for £29 million. We paid £30 million for Moussa Sissoko when we bought him, believe it or not. So to sell him to Burnley for 29 is good business. He had a good season last year. Hopefully he'll be happy with his replacement. We'll take a look at him later. Eric Lamela, asked to leave the club, has gone to Zenit St. Petersburg for £20 million. Paulo Gazzaniga has gone to Dynamo Zagreb for £17 million. Victor Wanyama has gone to Wolves for 14.25. That was turned permanent from a loan deal from last season. Serge Aurier has gone to Galatasaray for a fee rising to £14 million eventually, but initially 11.25. Cameron Carter-Vickers has gone to Celtic for £10 million. Kyle Walker-Peters has gone to Newcastle for £8 million. Once again, it's one of those ones that has been turned from a loan to a permanent transfer. We did come back and we did weigh up what we were going to do with Kyle, and eventually decided to sell him. It's also worth mentioning Giovanni Lo Celso. His loan deal with Real Betis was not renewed. We did not take up the option to buy him for £35.5 million at the end of his loan. I tried to restructure the deal. I tried to get him on loan for a second season. Real Betis were having none of it because I still was very unsure as to what to do with him. So he is not back this season either. And we start with one that was sorted out in the January transfer window but has now been completed. James Rodriguez has joined us from Real Madrid for a free transfer. Absolute snip. 220 grand a week, was happy to pay it. Potential to be a 3-star ability, so his ability is not going to increase, although his attributes might go up. As you can see, his stamina's going up, as is his agility. At 29, he is on the older side of our squad that we have, but he is a born winner. Obviously playing for Real Madrid, playing for Bayern Munich, playing for Monaco, playing for Porto. He has been around clubs that win things, and I'm hoping that he's going to help us do that. Now, I mentioned also in the last transfer window, I think the summer one, that it was difficult to find two centre-halves in the summer. Obviously, we bought Romagoli in last summer. This summer, we have bought in Ferrero, who is not a Rocher. He has been bought in for £35 million from Benfica. Now, Benfica have a notorious streak of making very good players, and I'm hoping that they've made a good one here. Composure of 17, jumping reach of 17, natural fitness of 16, has the potential to be a 3.5-star player, and hopefully he will complement Davinson Sanchez, Romagoli, Eric Dyer, Juan Foyth in the centre defender partnerships that we have. At £35 million, it's a lot of money, but if he turns out to reach his potential, it could be an absolute snip. Now we're going through these in date completion order, so they're in completely random order. The next one is Jarrod Bowen. Now the board were asking for more English players to be signed. Ta-da! We have Jarrod Bowen in. The right-hand side of midfield is a problem that we've got. Obviously, with letting Eric Lamela leave because he wanted a new challenge, we needed someone in. Jarrod Bowen is that man. Inverted winger, can play as an inside forward as well. A lot of people have been raving about this guy in real life. Tottenham have been tracking him for about 18 months as well. It may even be something that gets done in real life in the January transfer window. Work rate of 17, determination of 17, dribbling of 16 are the key attributes for Jarrod Bowen. He has the potential to be a 2.5-star player. Obviously, I'm hoping that his stats will go up as he improves. 131 appearances for Hull, 46 goals is a good return, and I'm hoping he can bang in some for us as well. Now, moving on to Marco Ascencio. Now, we've had a lot of missed opportunities this summer. We have had 3 players who have decided to go elsewhere. Marco Ascencio was not the first choice to bring in on the left-hand side of midfield. That was Rafa, who went to Chelsea, so we hate him now. So Marco Ascencio has been bought in for a fee rising to £42 million. Obviously, it's a guy you all know about. Has the potential to be a 4-star player. Dribbling a 16, finishing a 16, first touch of 17, long shot 18, technique 18, flair 17. He has lots of good attributes. I'm surprised Real Madrid wanted to let him go, to be brutally honest. He was on their transfer list, so it was one that we had a look at. The finances were good in terms of what we could muster. Obviously, we've stretched it out over as long a period as we can. On 150 grand a week, so he's not on an astronomical amount, and I'm hoping that he'll help Sonny out on the left hand side, because whilst we were good going forward last year, there wasn't much cohesion going forward, and if we're going to do well in the Premier League and the Champions League, we're going to need 2 players for every position. So that's Marco Asensio sorted on the left hand side of midfield. Next man through the door is Jan Oblak. Now, when I saw that Atletico Madrid had not put him up for sale, but they had put him up for sale because he refused to sign a contract. I will show you his contract situation, just so we can be clear on that. His contract with Atletico Madrid runs out next summer. We have an optional fee to buy him for £77 million. I'm kind of hoping, and it might be a long shot, that if he has a good enough time with us, he won't sign a contract with Atletico Madrid. We will be first in the queue to sign him permanently next summer. That is the plan. Obviously, if we buy a £77 million goalkeeper for absolutely nothing other than what he'll want as a signing on fee, it is an absolute bargain. And it was one I couldn't turn down. We structured the deal right, so we're only paying £35,000 a week. We are paying 900 grand a monthly fee, but that's not going to work out to be all that much if you think about it, really. So yeah, that's the plan for Jan Oblak. Obviously, we let Paulo Gazzaniga go because Oblak had already come in at that point, and I didn't need 3 goalkeepers who were all going to be vying for the number 1 spot. So it's going to be between him and Hugo Lloris as who starts the season in goal. I'm leaning towards Oblak. He has the potential to be a 4.5-star player. Handling of 18, kicking of 16, one-on-one 16, reflexes 18. If I can make this work next summer, I will be a transfer genius. Well, that would be my perspective on it, at least. Speaking of goalkeepers, when you buy one, I invariably always buy a second one to go with it, and that is Jack Butland. Again, heading down the English route because we needed to sign more English players. So he is on loan from Stoke, but he will join us next summer for 1.9 million, which I thought was a bargain, to be honest. If Stoke are willing to let him go for that, so be it. So yeah, Jack Butland has joined us. And now for the next big gamble of the summer, Harry Wilson has joined us on loan from Liverpool. And you might be wondering why. You've signed Jarrod Bowen, FMZ. What are you doing? Well, if Jarrod Bowen decides to bomb, or if Lucas Moura gets injured, then Harry Wilson can step up and join in. Obviously, he was on loan at Bournemouth last year. Didn't set the world on fire. As you can see, 26 appearances, only the 1 goal. And Liverpool were willing to loan him out. But yeah, it's just one of them players that you take a gamble on him. He's a good player, is Wilson. You know, I've seen him score a free kick live this season. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. And last, but by no means least, we have bought in Marcelo Brozovic from Inter Milan for a fee rising to £50 million. It is the most expensive one of the summer, so it is best to save him until last. This is Moussa Sissoko's replacement. Now, he's a couple of years younger than Moussa Sissoko, and he has much better stats than he did. We compared them and all that. So, tackling is 16, technique is 16, work rate of 18, fitness of 20, stamina of 19, pace of 14 is another one that, as a box-to-box player, you need to have a bit of pace about you. The stamina is a good thing as well. It was a no-brainer, and it's not going to be the last signing of the summer. Obviously, with letting Serge Aurier go, Nelson Tomato is the only right-back, or recognised right-back at the club. So we are looking for a right-back. There's about a week to go in the transfer window. I do like to leave it late, and you'll see who that's going to be when we round up the first few games of next season. But before we look forward to next season, we must look back at the last. So if you remember, Chelsea won the title at 89 points. They were 9 points in front of us, which led me to the shuffle, as I'm now calling it. I mentioned Arsenal didn't make it into the Champions League. They did. They won the Europa League, the bastards. So they are in the Champions League. So we've got 5 clubs in the Champions League this season. Manchester City are in the Europa League, as you can see. Sheffield United, Aston Villa and Southampton were relegated to the Championship. So let's take a look at this coming season and see who came up. So taking a look at this season, we'll start with the clubs that have come up. So that's Cardiff, West Brom and Fulham all come up. And they're all expected to go straight back down again, unsurprisingly. What's interesting is the top of the table. So Liverpool are the favourites to win the title at 5-2. They signed one of the players that we were interested in. Max Aarons went from Norwich to Liverpool despite us offering him more money. So I'm a bit gutted about that one. The other one, Luca Digne, he went to Real Madrid instead of coming to us. So I can't blame him for that one, really. The Manchester City are second favourites at 3-1. Carlo Ancelotti has taken over from Pep Guardiola. We're third favourite at 7-2. Chelsea are fourth favourites at 4-1. Then come Arsenal at 9-2. Manchester United at 5-1. And Wolves outside at 33-1. They did qualify for Europe, did Wolverhampton Wanderers, so they'll be happy with that. So moving on to pre-season, it wasn't too bad. 4 wins from pre-season, 1 defeat and 1 draw. As you can see, it's the 2nd of August. We play Chelsea in the Community Shield once I stop recording this, and you'll see how we get on with that next time around. But we start the Premier League season home to Fulham on Monday night. Then we go to Old Trafford for our first away game. Chelsea in the first month of the season is not one you want to have. The champions coming into town. Manchester City is an early one as well. Arsenal, October time. Scrolling further through the season, we finish the season home to Norwich, hopefully lifting the Premier League trophy. And I've set my stall out early for that because I think with the squad that I have assembled, we can do that. We can certainly challenge for the Premier League title. Obviously, we had a disappointing Premier League season. To finish third was okay. Obviously, when we finish in front of Liverpool, you're happy with that, and you finish above Arsenal. But the 9-point gap didn't really reflect how well we'd done through the season. We lost a lot of the big games, and that's why big game players have come in, like Ascencio, like Brozovic, like James Rodriguez. They've all come in to help us achieve the goal. So yeah, that's why the squad has been improved in the way it has. Hopefully you're happy with that. If you've got any comments on any of the players I've bought in, please let me know. So all that's left to say is, if you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel but would like to do so, please click the subscribe button down the corner. I mentioned don't forget to leave me a comment if you've got anything to say. Don't forget to click that notification bell to be notified when a video goes up on the channel. Also, I'm part of the FM Creators community and the Passion for FM team. The link to our Discord servers is in the description. I would love to see you there. That was episode 1 of season 2 of Earning My Spurs. We'll see how the new players bed in, and we'll drop back in about 8 games time after we've had a little bit of a run. So we'll see who we're playing in the Champions League as well. Until then, thanks for watching. Goodbye.